No part of it made sense. I mean, for the love of God, we have Nazis and gypsies and all other nonsense, and Envy's a giant dragon. And actually, none of this makes sense to you anyway, so it's fine. But we have to accept it as canon because The Conqueror of Shambhala is the ending of the original series. So we must accept Conqueror of Shambhala as canon if you follow the original track. Now, if you follow the Brotherhood track, The Conqueror of Shambhala is nonsense, it's fine. If you follow the Brotherhood track, The Conqueror of Shambhala is absolute nonsense. Why are you wasting your time? It's a stupid movie and needs to be resorted to kindling. So, we also get some of the Inuyasha movies.
Oh yeah.
That they just started introducing things that just not.
Like, wait, that doesn't even. What?
That makes any sense. Or like, you know what movie ends up really screwing with my world of canon was one of the Naruto movies where they go to the land of snow.
Oh, I remember.
And suddenly they have guns and crap. It's not even like a series, but they have like guns and crap, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You have power lines, televisions, computers, and guns, and a car. Oh, there's a train. There's a train.
Yeah, there is.
And a movie set, and actresses.
Wow.
And cameras, of course.
That's funny. I'm not gonna question the world of Naruto anymore.
Why did Skittles jizz on your hands? I told you to stop fapping off candy.
Okay. But I think they call it a movie. It's not, I mean, maybe someone wants to do something different, so they're just like, oh, it's just, you know. And they,
It made no sense.
Okay, so I'm gonna take my original series and make a second movie. I just completely. I'm going to raise characters from the dead.
Of course. But wait, I wonder if is it the authors that do that, or is it just other people that are like, oh, maybe, you know.
Ding, 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 ding.
No.
Who's making movies? The Americans! You think Kishimoto would write something that asinine?
That's true, yeah, that's true. Some of the stuff, like, even the characters.
No, and there are some movies that actually do move towards the plot. So, like, a lot of the Bleach movies, like Diamond Dust Rebellion,
yeah,
was moving towards the plot. Wasn't that where we started first getting the ideas of, like the Serite actually not really being the most safe place in the world? We started getting these first ideas that once you start decentralizing these things, anything can happen. Also, Memories of Nobody, we started getting, I think that was where we first started getting the idea of like not hollows, but like the Espada and stuff like that. We started seeing Arancars for the first time. So, I actually thought that the Bleach movies were pretty good with moving at least somewhere in the flow of the actual series. It's kind of trying. Naruto, to a certain extent, like the Shippuden movies are better about it. The Shippuden movies, I've seen a couple of, they're actually better towards. They're just longer episodes.
How many movies are there? Okay then.
I think we're up to what 5 Bleach movies, 5 or 6 Bleach movies, and like 5 or so Naruto movies.
Naruto has like 7. Like for the first one, they had like 4. For the Shippuden, they have like 3.
There's a bunch right now for Naruto. For Full Metal Alchemist, there's 2.
I think we tend to forget about that second one.
The Sacred Star of the Milos?
Yes.
It's a Brotherhood movie. That's why we ignore it.
How many episodes of Brotherhood?
64? I only remember because I know it was longer than the original, and that pissed me off.
It followed the manga.
You all know my opinion on Brotherhood.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
You don't like it.
But I have reasons for not liking it. It's not that I don't like it.
Yeah, it's just
I won't spoil it for you, because my reasoning ends up being a massive spoiler. So I won't. You guys know my reasoning. It's a legitimate reason. It isn't just because I feel like being obtuse. That's because, you know, I'm one of those old, disgruntled fangirls who doesn't like change. It's...
But you'll watch it for Prince Link.
I will watch it for Prince Ling. I will be all over for Prince Ling. I will be all over that series for Ling. Absolutely.
You get the screen for everything else.
Yeah, Kumaka will be everything else for the most part. Now, Amber, maybe you can explain this to me. How often was the phrase illegal alien used during World War II?
I've yet to see it pop up in the manga either.
Well, I haven't taken a class on World War II, but I really don't know, girls.
I didn't think so, especially when it comes to the Chinese. I'm sorry, the Chinese. Looks like a dog or a made-up land, which is made of land. Please, Amber. episode.
Really gonna be the thing recording question.
Yes. Oh, also why there are black people in the military.
There are, in the German military, there are.
Well, as far as the illegal alien, it's because we're Americans and
Where's
think it
Funimation
sounds cool.
Studios?
Dallas.
Very good.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes from my house.
It's in Dallas, and they also have a studio in Houston.
I am going to have to go there.
You should, well, I'll be home for the summer. Unless I get a job somewhere far, far away.
Like in Alaska.
Like in Alaska.
I think that might be a translation issue because when I was watching Brotherhoods, when it came out for the sub, I don't recall there being illegal alien at least 5.
No, and in the manga they never call him an illegal alien. And actually it makes no sense that canonically they would say that because as a prince he'd have some kind of traveling documents.
Now they ask him where's his papers.
And it'd be convenient that he doesn't have them, but he would not have papers. They just might not be on him. It's like if I were traveling in Europe, though, that was wrong because I was having a passport on me. It's like, it's not that I don't have papers, they're just not here currently. So it'd make no sense for royalty not to have papers at all. Why would a prince need to be legally immigrating to a mistress? Why would that be necessary? Short of, I mean, even if he's looking, for the root of alchemy and trying to solve alchemy and all this other nonsense, why would he need to illegally cross over the border, which is a desert, by the way? What is the purpose of illegally crossing that when you are a prince?
There's none.
Exactly. So canon is one of those things that you really need to be loose with. You sort of have to loose canon. You really have to be very, very careful with canon. Don't let canon box you in, but know your canon. Know what's there. Like, people think it's odd that I know the gravitation verse off the top of my head. They kind of stick with you, and it's good to know the characters that you cosplay, because that means you get presents. It's good to know those characters, because then you get gifts, which is cool. But it's good to know canonical information, because that makes you as a writer stronger, as a cosplayer stronger, and moreover as a fan stronger. Now, where canon gets you into trouble is where you cannot reconcile your canonical differences. So, like, my friend Nicole and I had a massive battle over the Hitalian names, because I had a weird little Hitalian fangirl where I like that these sort of cosplayers were using human names. And she was like, well, they never use human names. It's like, but they should use them! So that's a weird sort of canonical battle that fangirls will have, is that there's a group of fangirls that think that they're given names, you should use names. There's another group that says, well, canonically they never use names, except for the one time Southern Italy calls his brother Vinciano.
But, but that's not even his.
That isn't even his true name. So outside of that one time, it was the only time any sort of name outside of country was ever used. Bless you. So it's one of those weird things where that's a weird fan idiosyncrasy. I I came into the series knowing names. I spent a lot of time learning the names. Damn, I'm going to use the names. I spent a lot of time learning these names. I'm going to use them. So, some of the issues some of the series that we talked about with these canon issues, we're seeing a lot of them pop up more and more as these series go on. And actually, Robert and I had a lovely conversation about demon lore and demon canon, and the whole battle with Black Butler.
Oh God.
Selena, have you read the newest chapter of Black Butler?
I'm not really into the love. I don't think I've been into
Let's just say this. There's at least 2 things off the bat. Well, there's 3 things. First of all, Ciel was seen alone. Secondly, Ciel was running. Thirdly, Sebastian's wearing a rosary.
You forgot the fact that CL was going to school.
Oh, and Ciel's going to school.
Oh, and CL had breakfast in his mouth.
Yes.
While running and going to school.
Running late.
Yes.
And she's like, what is this nonsense? You can just see the whole
How does any of that chapter make sense?
What is this blasphemy?
I had to triple check that I was reading the right manga.
He looks adorable in his school uniform.
He does look quite cute, but I'm just concerned how Sebastian got that rosary on his neck.
Why he looks like Kane.
Why he does look like Cain.
Oh.
How do sex demons get rosaries?
Wasn't it inverted?
It was not inverted. Come on, kids. Certainly
Maybe
you
it's
have.
not really a rosary. Maybe it's an illusion. How does any of it make sense?
Yeah,
any of it? None of it
And
makes
even
sense.
that then dictates what sort of canon like, my lore with demons comes from things like Constantine and such like that. That nothing from hell can touch holy things. I love that movie. That's such a great movie. We might watch that one these days. Have you guys seen Constantine or read the comic?
I love the movie.
You haven't?
I think I've heard of it.
You need to watch the movie. You really do. It's beautiful. And demons are interesting in that version. They're very, very interesting. Balthazar made an excellent KFC reference that was just amazing. He called human souls finger licking good.
Oh my god.
I was like, instant love. So even when your demon lore is different, so like there are some like, oh, he's a high enough ranking demon, well, it's like, well, you know, first of all, I don't think Sebastian indicates any rank, he's just sort of there. Moreover, why does it matter? Second of all, can we just get over the obvious issue? Why is he in school? You let an incubus run around your campus. What are you doing it? Of course, you get the massive Fullmetal Alchemist debate with Brotherhood. You get that massive debate. And of course, there are definitely pros and cons to both. One of the massive cons against the original is that this was a preemptive strike, that the manga was still going on. This was really just Funimation's attempt to continue the series and continue to make money. Because there are massive differences between the original and Doom Brotherhood. Massive differences. It wasn't even like the manga where it started off, okay, this is kind of similar up until volume 7.
The greed arc. That's just how.
Yeah, how they handled greed was the only thing that was different. Again, no spoiler, but just fact. How they handled greed is really where the series sort of... So volume 7 in the manga, which ended up being episode 20-something in the anime. 20-something. Well, and some details end up vanishing, of course, because Lang appears in volume 7, all these other things. So details end up appearing and disappearing from the anime to the manga. So the massive con against following the original anime is that this was sort of a preemptive strike. The series was not complete. Of course, Arakawa threw a massive bitch fit. Massive bitch fit. Over the fact that this was not her work, and that's actually the reason why Brotherhood became aired, was because of Arakawa's massive bitch fit. Which is necessary. There are plenty of people that actually do really like Brotherhood. I encourage you guys to know both.
There's also the issue that comes in with Rurouni Kenshin.
What was Rurouni Kenshin's major downfall?
After the Shishio arc, I stopped pretty much watching after it because I knew it was all fillers. They basically went off the...
Moreover, Kenshin's biggest issue was censorship.
Oh, that's right, the too much violence.
Who grew up in the Toonami generation? Remember how no one bled? It would just flash and then black screen?
Yeah, and then now it's like,
No one blood in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, well, that's black.
that's so true. And Sailor Moon, I don't remember seeing any blood.
Yeah, remember that no one gets injured in these. So...
I think we start seeing more blood when we get to Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha.
Earlier than that. Case closed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Case closed was painfully gory.
Yeah, I don't like every time someone died, I'd be like, bleh, open screen.
Dramatic murder scene. But yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho was another one. Ironic though, that the only series that really seem to stay close to canon are the action series. Funny, huh? You'd think a series with more plot would be better off staying closer to canon. But yeah, actually Kenshin's big downfall was the censorship issue. And that's actually the issue with a lot of canon issues, is the idea of censoring. It's where the gravitation issues come along, is that a lot of the anime was very, very heavily censored. So that's why the anime comes off so much more cutesy. And, oh yes, they really are in love, and bubblegum, and rainbows, and unicorns.
And it cuts off early on, very early on.
While the manga keeps going, and...
Then you get EX.
At the end of what?
The series?
Of Kenshin?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't die.
Really?
No.
No.
Never he died.
No.
He builds a happy little family with Karu.
Oh.
And then you get to the OVA in
I heard somewhere that he died. I guess it was.
By the way, where do OVAs stand on canon?
I mean, why would they? I mean,
It depends.
they just have like what 3-4 episodes, and then it's like, yeah, that's it.
I think it depends.
Does the OVA come before the series or after the series, or
When does an OVA ever come before?
like before they
Right.
animate it? Because sometimes they'll have an OVA as like a test to see how the series will do.
How often does that actually ever succeed?